evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Just doing a quick video on the B&M 2022 releases of the 8th Doctor figures. And without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So on the left we have the first release. It came in a box of the 9th of the Doctor, and that was, I think, 2016, and it came with the Sonic, the chalice, and the band holder, I think it's called, round his neck. And then of course on the right you have the B&M release from last year, now available for $7.99. I just recently bought them because I wasn't going to pay £22 because I'd already got, but I'm glad I got them now cheap. So here we have the differences. So as you can see, the new one, the waistcoat, is a totally different colour. It's more like golden colour, I would say. With the other ones like a brown to match the boots. I mean, the boots on the new one are more like a chocolate brown. The trousers are more of a match with the waistcoat. And one thing interesting, he's got bicep swivel, which I didn't realise that until now. And this is the rear. Yep, the new one does as well. It's the same figure anyway, just repaints. As you can see, the coat on the new one is more like, almost like a kind of a bluey green, dark blue, kind of a like touch of green in it. The hair is more textured. It's kind of got lighter colouring in it. Overall, it's a much better figure. So if you didn't get the original one, definitely go out and buy that one. It's worth it. So that is the Night of the Doctor, 8th Doctor. Out they come, and we shall move on to our next two 8th Doctors, which are waiting in the wings. We have the one based on the movie, Doctor Who, the movie. Now this one is first one, the second one. Right, the one on the left came in the 11 Doctors set from Toys R Us. I think I got it in Toys R Us and Character. I think I ordered mine online. I can't remember. Anyway, that was 2010. It came with the Sonic. And this one on the right is the B&M one. And I've had a look before I've done this video, comparing just the photos of the 8th Doctor Paul McGann's costume. I've got to say the new one is better, the face paint is better. However, I'm going to draw attention to the waistcoat on the first release. That seems to me more accurate than that one. That's just plain, and that one's got like a pattern. I don't know if you can see. I'll try and move it in a bit better. There, as you should be able to see now, it has like a pattern on it. Whereas this one is rather plain. So I'm not sure why that is. But again, nice figures, except this does not. These don't have bicep swivel on that one. I'll just turn them round. So, yeah, I like the new one. Although, yeah, I think there's a bit more detail on the coat on the older one than the new one. I mean, I like them both. Now, if I was a customiser, which I'm not really good, there might be a way of doing a swap. So what am I on about? Am I silly? Yeah, I am. All I have to do really is swap the heads around, because it should be, if I'm not mistaken, I should live on camera. He pulls, he twists, Yay! Ain't going to pull his head off now, but pop off head. So I could always just swap him over if I wanted to. And that's really all to say on the 8th Doctor from the movie. Nothing really exciting. Next up, and the final 8th Doctor is the Dark Eyes release. This, I believe, has been now released 3 times. I never got the second release because I just got the first release. So, what we see, the jacket, this is basically the 9th Doctor figure repainted. The new one comes with a satchel. The detail on the new one is much better. Again, not bicep swivel, but it's only the 9th Doctor anyway, it doesn't do that. Whoops, he's fallen over. Yep, I've not listened to that audio series, but the paint job on the new one is much better on the face. The original one looks more sort of like cartoonish, or like it was animated or something. But this is better. Yeah, nothing much really to say about that one. And there you have them. And finally, you lucky people, I'm only joking, I shall bring in another 8th Doctor figure to compare. Well, not really compare. But I'm just going to bring in the Night of the Doctor. He's on the shelf, so he's got some blue tack on his foot. This is the blooded one. After he crashes, so as you can see, there's the difference. It's basically the same as the other figure, which is there, except the coat is all scuffed up, and the waistcoat bloody on the face. I forget when that came out now, that one. And that's them. And yep, and oh yeah, sorry, I've forgotten. I haven't done a video of that one. No, that one is just a separate one. That came with Dalek Alpha in 2013 in the Toys R Us set. And if you wonder why his hand is a bit funny, I lost his original hand not long ago. So I just found a spare hand and I put it in. And this is all the 8th Doctors. Talk about 8th Doctors, there's a great book out there, you can't see him if I put him there, called The 8th Doctors, written by Terence Dicks, God rest his soul. It's about the 8th Doctor. It is set after the movie, and he basically, one last trap, from the Master, and he loses consciousness, loses his memory, and he hears a voice, which is Rassilon's, but he doesn't realise it is, guiding him to the original TARDIS console room, and in order for him to gain back his memories, he has to go back and visit his previous selves. It's not just like your multi-Doctor story where the older Doctor is in the adventure with the existing Doctor. This time he goes back to adventures he already had. So, for example, he meets the first Doctor during events of An Earthly Child. Not the first episode, I think it's the second or third episode. The second, events of the War Games. Third, which is an interesting one, it's set just after the events of, I think it's the Sea Devils. Yeah, anyway, do check it out. It's a good novel. It was published by the BBC. And yeah, actually, if you just bear with me, I shall just grab it for you because I've got it on the shelf here. I've read it countless of times. So I'm a sucker for multi-doctor stories. I'm just going to pop it in front here. There you go. The 8 Doctors. Good book. Very good book. I'm back. You just see, you can see Rassilon, as in the from the 5 Doctors. Trust the TARDIS. Yeah, I recommend that read. Anyway, there we go. These are all the 8 Doctors you could possibly imagine. And finally, just a shout out, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, to a chap that's been very supportive on Facebook, Peter Salisbury. And of course, another shout out to a fellow YouTuber, Master's Joke. Do check out his channel. He does good videos, and he doesn't only just do Doctor Who. He does Star Wars. So do check him out. And I'll finally say, I'm glad things seem to be settling down over this furore over this leaking thing that I was supposed to have leaked and cancelled and all that adult nonsense. Yep, time to move on and put it behind everybody. I mean, there is some that still think I'm responsible, which is adult nonsense. And let's hope it never happens again, that I'm accused of anything like that. But it was one thing I just must add. One thing in the email from Al Dewar that you didn't see, that was sent to me, people kept on going back to him and telling him that I was the one leaking it, all the Inferno stuff. I mean, I found out from somebody else. Other people knew. So, yeah. It's interesting that he's obviously got spies watching. So be wary. They're watching. Oh, be careful. The character option spies are out there. They're coming to get you. Anyway, there you go. I've rabbited on long enough. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you on the next video soon. God bless. Good night.